Hey everybody, I am Jesse Dollemore, and this is The Conversation, brought to you by the podcast I Doubt It with Dollemore, which can be found on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play Music, wherever you find good and bad podcasts. Well, with all of the discussion surrounding Donald Trump's good buddy, Vladimir Putin, and his interference in our free and fair elections in November, I thought it would take a little bit of time and talk about what a bad guy Putin actually is, and why it's so damn troublesome for the President of the United States to be sidled up so closely to him. Well, number one, Vladimir Putin is an ally to Hassan Rouhani, the leader of Iran, the same nation that has been accused not just by the United States of being a state sponsor of terrorism, but also by 11 Middle Eastern and North African nations. Number two, Putin is also buddies with Bashar al-Assad, the genocidal dictator of Syria, the same man who's been proven to have used horrifying chemical weapons against his own people, including countless innocent women and children. He's the same maniac who just sent military forces door to door in Aleppo to hunt and slaughter innocent civilians. Number three, good old Vlad is a dear friend and ally of the nuke-hungry Kim Jong-un in North Korea. If you're not aware of Lil Kim in North Korea, well, he is systematically starving his own people while lying to them about how the rest of the world is suffering some global famine, while simultaneously living an opulent life of luxury and funding an unapologetic quest to get his hands on nuclear weapons to bomb his neighbors and us here in the United States. Now, that isn't nearly all of the reasons why Vladimir Putin is a dangerous man. He and Donald Trump also share something in common with one another. They both despise the free press and want to curtail their freedom to report accurately. We can only hope that the orange-faced Führer won't take a page out of the Putin playbook, a playbook which includes the assassination of dozens of journalists who are critical of him. Related to this, back in January, Trump had this confidence-inspiring thing to say.
You know, he's killed reporters, and I don't like that. I'm totally against that. By the way, I hate some of these people, but I'd never kill them. I hate them. These people, honestly, I'll be honest. I would never kill them.
Yeah, he jokingly promises not to kill them, but he hates them. That should give every Constitution-loving patriot a bit of pause. Look, whether you're a fan of the press or not, they have a constitutionally protected duty to do their jobs and hold our elected leaders accountable. Well, in another interview, when questioned about his fondness for Russia's Vladimir Putin and presented again with the fact that he has journalists murdered, he had this to say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also as a person that kills journalists, political opponents, and
invades countries.
And invades countries. Obviously, that would be a concern, would it not?
He's running his country, and at least he's a leader.
He's running his country, and at least he's a leader? He has scores of innocent, independent-thinking arbiters of truth murdered, yet he's running his country, and at least he's a leader. This is our next president, folks. A man who jokes about killing critical members of the press and makes excuses for an enemy of the United States who actually does. Look, America is better than this. America is better than to be allied with countries like Iran and Syria, North Korea, and Russia. We don't look the other way while journalists and dissenters are murdered by our head of state. We cherish the rule of law and our Bill of Rights. Apparently, though, Republicans have sold their souls to the devils of Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin because as soon as the tangerine titan started lovingly batting his eyes and gushing about what a great guy the brutal thug Putin was, the GOP started whistling a completely different tune. In fact, look at this data from YouGov and The Economist showing that just after July, coincidentally, the same time that the micropod Donald Trump started singing the praises of Putin, the Republican Party changed. Nothing changed with little Vladimir. He still invades neighbors, oppresses gays and murders people who don't see things his way. But the GOP all of a sudden decided he was their kind of guy. Spineless cowardice. Look, I don't know about you, but I will remain steadfast in my vocal opposition to tyranny and the oppression and the influence of foreign fascists and the puppets that they install in the White House. Thanks a lot.